More. Let's speak to Eric Goldman. He's a law professor at Santa Clara University. He joins us now live. Thanks for being with us. Just how bad is the misinformation out there? Because, I mean, some would look at it and actually just laugh. I mean, saying, you know, who wouldn't know not to drink bleach or that water with lemon can't cure any disease? So this misinformation can easily be ignored.
There's a spectrum of misinformation, all the way from things that are clearly bogus, that all of us could easily identify as such, to things that turn out to be just not true, even though they're the best information we have today, and a wide range of things in the middle. So to think of misinformation as a binary, it either is or it isn't, I think misunderstands the problems that we're facing.
Okay, so it's not black and white, and then how is it supposed to be controlled? I mean, if the EU is looking to social media companies to better control it, how can that be done?
That's a really good question, because so much of the challenges start with our own government. People like in the United States here, our CDC or the World Health Organization has been constantly issuing statements that they ultimately have to retract or modify. So we don't even know who to believe, and that makes it impossible for the internet companies to know what's true and what isn't. They're not in a great position to override the judgment of the governments, even when the governments are getting it wrong.
Especially in a time when lies are being called alternative facts. So, I mean, should there be some exploration into penalties, though, for at least the misinformation that can be proven and can be seen as genuinely malicious?
Ideally, the internet companies are already taking significant steps towards that. Whether they're doing a great job of that or not is unclear. As you may know, they've had to shut down their manual review of many types of content and turn the content control over to the machines. So they're not able to do all the things they used to be able to do, although my understanding is they are prioritizing combating misinformation about the virus. Having said that, there's no way they're ever going to get it done perfectly. And so to hold them to that level, I think, is unfair.
Okay, let me ask you this then, and you can speak on a more personal level if you want to. I mean, are conspiracy theories kind of spinning out of control right now, all under the umbrella of free speech? Because I've seen some of the most absurd lines laid out, let's just say that, on social media, but spoken by very articulate people. This is free speech, I guess, but it's dangerously misleading.
We don't know what's true and false yet with respect to the virus. So many questions aren't answered. Having said that, there's no doubt that there are people who are capitalizing on the crisis to spin their own conspiracy theories for their own ends. Ideally, internet companies are going to be combating that, not because they're legally required to, because it's in the best interest of the company and their readers. I don't know what else to say about the conspiracy theories. I don't understand how we've gotten to a world where conspiracy theories can find as much traction as they have.
Yeah, I mean, so just take one example then. I'm going to ask you a little bit further about this. You know, the 5G. I've had so many people actually ask me about that. Intelligent people. If there's truth to 5G actually breaking down our immune system so that we can't fight the coronavirus. You can say we obviously it's not true, but you know the people that are writing these conspiracy theories will say, well, prove it isn't true, prove that. How do you start combating things like that, or do you not?
In the end, I feel like that's a reflection of how we've degraded trust in our institutions. We used to trust things like the media. We used to trust things like the government, that they would be teaching us things that we need to know, and they would give us the ability to decide when something like a 5G theory is completely illegitimate. Because of the degradation in trust in our institutions, it's not clear who can combat that information. At the end, I think what we have to do is ultimately help raise everyone's media literacy. That starts with the kids still in school, and unfortunately, we're going to have to work on the generations that are no longer in school to get them to better understand how they can evaluate trustworthy information. If we don't have that, there is no chance of us being able to fight the conspiracy theories.
Eric Goldman, great to have you. Thanks so much for being with us.